Hi, hello, welcome back to Booming with Bella. I know, don't even say it, I know. So for this episode, I just want to catch you up real quick, get you back in the swing of things, kind of let you know what's been going on in our brief time period apart. So last time we spoke, actually, ironically, I did an episode on Omar Courtz's Primera Musa, why I thought it was brilliant. Also, hey, hang on, make sure you're following at Boomin with Bella on all social media, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever you are listening, and give a 5-star rating to help push Boomin with Bella out to more people. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do, but make sure you're up to date on all things Boomin with Bella. Now let's get down to business. Last we spoke, I did an episode talking about Omar Courtz's Primera Musa and how much I liked the album, just my general thoughts, what I liked about his artistry, the concept and the idea of his debut album being one that spanned multiple infusions and genres of music straight out of the gates, as well as being someone who is pioneering to bring reggaeton back to Puerto Rico and I guess this new wave or new generation of artists, and that I commend him for. I 100% do. Since the recording of that episode, my life has changed immensely, and I mean this for the better. I mean this in the best way. If you're watching, you notice a new background. If you're listening, you don't hear any dogs yelling. I had the opportunity to move to New York City. It's closer to where my 9-to-5 is, so that's been fun, and also I've just gotten to experience being a girl in her 20s again. I was living back in my hometown with my parents, and I didn't have many of my friends in my hometown. The location that I was in, it was very hard for my friends to even get to me easily. So I wasn't a very social person, and when I was social, I was hanging out with my family. And don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have spent 2 years with my family just all the time. I've been able to do a lot more than I thought I would, and I've just been able to foster those relationships and create more memories that I'm going to cherish forever. I'm going to look back in 10 years or whenever and talk about these times where I was at home and my Friday night activity was watching some crazy show with my parents, and I'm gonna look back on that fondly. And even when I was living in it, I had moments where I was like, I am 24 years old, I should be out there, doing my thing on the town. But at other times, I was really grateful to be where I was at. But yeah, it's time for me to be a 24-year-old teenage girl again. And I've been loving every second of it. It's been really fun, and unfortunately, that has kind of kept me from you, but not really, because if you're following my personal stuff on TikTok and on YouTube, I've been a lot more active on there at Isabella with 2 A's, L-A-I-D-Z. So that's been fun. But yeah, so that all happened very, very fast. Right before I moved, I ended up going to Puerto Rico again with my grandparents, just spending time out there again. I wanted to work on my tan, I was getting my winter color and I wasn't a fan of it. I ended up actually also getting the neurovirus, which was not fun. That accidentally extended my trip in Puerto Rico, so I was there for like 3 extra days than I was supposed to, because literally the day that I caught the neurovirus, I was breaking a fever, going through all the things that the neurovirus makes you go through. I was at the airport trying to get in line for TSA. So clearly that did not work. I talked a little bit more about it on my personal YouTube vlog or whatever. And then after that, it was just go, go, go. Go to IKEA, get furniture. And then once I moved in, it was kind of like I needed to adjust, because everything's new, everything's different. I don't have a routine. So I've been adjusting. It's taken me, I don't even think I've fully adjusted yet. There's definitely some things that I'm still getting used to, I still need to figure out, but I've gotten into a semi-steady routine. I actually recorded an episode a couple weeks ago, and I kept putting it off editing-wise. I sat down to edit it, and I looked at it, and I listened to a little bit of it. It just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. I don't even think I was saying the names of the songs that I was talking about. I think I would just kind of skip over by accident. So it just felt very half-assed, and I did not want to put that out there just for the sake of needing to put an episode out. So yeah, I scrapped it. I made the decision to scrap it, and I decided I want to talk about something else and do an episode on Selena Quintanilla. The last episode, it kind of segues perfectly because I talked about Primera Musa, I talked about Omar Courtz. I actually ended up going to Omar Courtz's concert here in New York City on his Primera Musa tour. I have some thoughts, so I figured what better way to share them with you, you know? So let's take it back. On April 13th at the Brooklyn Paramount at 8 p.m. sharp, actually 8:30 on the dot, I think it was, I saw Omar Courtz perform Primera Musa. Some songs from Primera Musa. He did not cover the whole album. Couple things. The venue is a brilliant place. Like, I would go back there time and time again to see a concert. There is only one entrance, so even if you get there early as hell to like try to get a good seat, you're still gonna have to wait in line for hours. And honestly, like, I don't know. I have, because it is a GA venue, let me also clarify that. I feel like I've outgrown the GA kind of vibe. I don't know, at age 24, I feel like I don't want to do the pushing to the front to get close, you know, sort of thing. Or like the moshing, the super tight, everybody on top of each other. Like, I like to have a seat, or I like to be in a spot where I can move around comfortably, you know, there's nothing cramping my vibe. So I was not in a rush to necessarily be at the front of the line. I did hear some like chatter online about people who were at the front of the line just like expressing grievances for like the doors literally not opening until 7 and people pulled up at 5. And yeah, coat check was great. There was a coat check. I did not need it. My jacket was kind of a part of my outfit. Drinks were good, expensive, but good. And there was multiple like places to get drinks, so that wasn't really like a waiting issue. I also did take a tumble. But I was due for one. But anyways, I took a tumble. This man was like really concerned, and I was like, bro, like, it's good. I do this often. I'm not hurt. Like, don't worry. And like, I had barely had a sip of my drink, which is the most embarrassing part. The first couple sips of my drink landed on the floor, like, because I held it like this because I knew I was going down. I like stumbled a little bit, and then I was like, oh shit, like the next 2 steps I'm going down. So in a glimpse into Isabella Lainez's life, by the way, I don't know if I introduced myself. Hey, it's Bella. I fall a lot. To the outsider, it's a concerning thing, but to those who know me, it's kind of like, bruh. And it happens like more often than not, actually. I think there was a point in life where like it was happening like once a month. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't had my fall this month. It must be coming any day now. But so yeah, this poor guy was very concerned. And I was like, no, I promise you I'm okay. Like, I will literally just shake this off and I will be fine. And I felt bad. I didn't want anyone to think that I was like intoxicated and just being an idiot. Like, I literally didn't even have a sip of my drink yet. This much from like the top literally spilled out onto the ground. And I was like, all I need are some napkins to help clean this up, and then we're good to go. And then I got to enjoy the final half of my drink. What was left of my like $23 drink. Anyways, had to get that out there. After that, so me and my friend that I went to the concert with, she's a really big Omar Courtz fan, we were taking our pictures, obviously, because we looked great. All of a sudden, it's like 8:30 on the dot. I'm thinking that there's gonna be like 6 opening acts or whatever, like usual, and I'm not gonna hear from Omar Courtz until 10. Like, I'm thinking we got time. Intro happens. Immediately, we're not the intro to Primera Musa, but the intro that he selected for the concert starts. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh shit, he's on. So we had to run, get into the room. We made it just in time, and we didn't get like too far into the crowd, but like we were at a good point where we could still see him. And that was that. He was very quick with it. He was coming for Fercho's Guinness World Record because he was running back and forth across the stage the entire time. I would be trying to take videos. My video would literally be like this, back and forth, back and forth. I was like, this isn't even like gonna look good. It's gonna give someone on my Instagram story whiplash. Other than that, like, he didn't really talk that much, you know. He did some songs. He didn't do all of Primera Musa, and he didn't do his latest drops. Like, well, he did Nubes, but he didn't do Baby. He didn't do Whoa. There was another one that he had that he did also omitted. And I think, like, I wanted him to do Eso es un Vibe. I wanted him to do Aunque duermas con él. I wanted him to do Con Cojones. And he didn't. So that, but, like, I also wanted him to do Amandita. But I didn't, like, think that he was gonna do them necessarily. So I just kind of let that slide. I was like, I would have loved. I think it was more like he didn't do Baby and he didn't do Whoa, and that was kind of weird. Oh, I also wanted him to do like Beachy, Cuerpo a Cuerpo. You know, my favorites. Obviously, I wanted him to perform those. He did a couple old songs. Not many. He hit. Let me pull up Primera Musa. So he did Goddess. He did Pienso en Sexo. He did Una Noti. He did Musa Leva. He did Piensa. Oh, I wanted him to do Amber. That was the other one with Davey. He did Polvos que no se olvidan. He did Piensa en mí. He did Duque 16. He did Si te gustan las gatas. He did Alógate. He did Sex Playlist. He did ¿Qué vas a hacer hoy? He did Serio con ese Q. He did Luces de Colores. So he did pretty much all of them except for maybe Heavy, maybe Trepeo Quebrón, and maybe Intro and Interludio. So I guess I have to be fair. He did do like 96% of the album. But yeah, this was like also in the mix of like the whole Omar Courtz De La Rose Davey love triangle, which I feel like I immediately kind of thought of it as like PR or like marketing. They wanted people to kind of guesstimate that Omar and De La Rose were together after his 3 shows at La Jolie when they released the music video or whatever, and they were just being very flirtatious on stage while singing this love song Nubes to the audience, and it's a song that they have together. But at the same time, Davey released Los Flavors, and he has a song with both Omar and De La Rose. He has a song Toda with De La Rose, and then right after that, actually on the track list, is Amber with Omar Courtz. And then I think Davey was at a concert and he said something about like, he insinuated something about De La Rose, and then the internet like ran with it. The 2 guys were kind of going back and forth with TikToks. I think Davey, or yeah, it was Davey who posted a picture of the 3 of them with Yo by Don Omar and Romeo. And that was funny. That was really funny. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, they are probably like in a group chat laughing their heads off at the internet. The way that everybody just... Sometimes in moments like this, I'm very grateful for my media literacy background. My media literacy course, which ironically was my worst grade all throughout college. That was simply because I skipped one too many classes. Okay, I had a lot of papers due all at once that one year. Anyways, so there was all that drama going on. But so he did do Nubes, and that was a huge hit at Jolie. He had just released it, but then he's been dropping like constantly. So it was like Nubes, or it was Amber, Nubes, Baby, no, Whoa, Baby, or Whoa was somewhere before that, then it went into all this, Baby with Sitch, and then now most recently he did a duet with Bad Gal. Let's pull it up. Omar Courtz, if you're listening to this, do a duet with Danny Ocean, because I know Sitch just did one, and I would love it if you linked up with one of my favorite guys. Comernos is his latest song with Bad Gal. Oh, he had Movie as well with Kendro Caponi, Luar La L, and Isaac. Like, he's had a lot of singles in the past month or so I definitely think that and I think he's mentioned it, that he's working on another project. So I am excited for that. But these singles have all been like so good so far. So yeah, that was kind of a bummer that he didn't do those, and I don't think I was alone in feeling that. I think a lot of people kind of had the same sentiments. My friend that I was with did as well. He did Verdad, so that was good. I do think they have him auto-tuned a little too much. At least for that show, he was a little too much, you know? And I just wish he like chatted more, because I think that he's very witty. I think that he's very funny. At least that's the vibe that I get from his music. I don't know, I like hear it and I'm like, wow, he's witty. I would have loved to like see how he like interacts with the crowd more. He did a lot of like, he made sure to point out all of the sections in the venue, so that was nice. You know, he accepted when people threw their intimate garments at him, but yeah, I don't need to get too much into that. I don't like, honestly, for me, so it like literally was an hour and like started at 8:30 and then 9:30, or maybe even like, no, yeah, 8:30, 9:30. Some people were upset about that. To me, this might just be like my old ass, but it was a Sunday night. I had work in the morning. I was more than okay with being out of there by 10. I was like, you know what, we gotta drive back to the city. Like, we gotta get the car, we gotta pay for parking. Like, you know, I'm cool. So I was okay with it. And like the venue that this concert was at, beautiful, fantastic venue. It's one of those GA concerts. I thought it was great for that. No openers. DJ was pretty cool too. I liked how they played like a little upbeat house song at the end as he kind of said goodbye. He didn't really say like goodbye, get home safe, but he just kind of like jumped in the crowd, like to the front row of the crowd. People like went nuts trying to like get him to sign things or take videos of him. Honestly, at that point I was kind of like, I'm good to go. Sounding very boring, and also like a very half-ass fan. I do really like his music, I have to say that. But I don't know, I think it was just the fact that it was Sunday night. I was like, I had the opportunity to get home early, like that's the vibe that I'm on. Also, there was no merch. I came fully ready expecting that hot pink zip up sweatsuit that was being sold at Jolie, even though I know that like Jolie usually gets their own merch, obviously. I was like kind of hoping that that would be a part of the US tour merch. I was just hoping for like a t-shirt at the very least. Absolutely nothing. Just the stuff outside that like street vendors were selling, which is like just the album art and like the track list on the back. And it's like, if I just wanted something simple like that on a Gildan t-shirt or a Gildan sweatshirt, like I could just make that myself, you know, like I don't need to go pay this guy however much. Now that we're all coming out of the concert with no merch, he knows that he can up the prices. Like I'm not, no. You're not gonna pull a fast one on me. That was kind of a bummer that there was no merch, because I was like expecting that and I was ready. Like this whole vibe, or the whole album vibe is like pink, hot pink too, so it's like that's totally my favorite color combination, light pink and hot pink, so why not? Yeah, anyways, I was looking forward to that and there was none. So that was like, honestly, that was my biggest qualm with it, was no merch. But other than that, I thought it was a good concert. I thought it was a good show. I probably would go see him again, just because I feel like I know that he's a capable artist, just from the clips that I've seen from his Trolley concert versus what I saw. But I know like some people have mixed feelings about it. I know that some people have said that he hasn't come out early, but yeah, that's really my thoughts on that. Now, I've been listening to quite a lot of new music lately, and I wanted to sit down. Like the episode that I scrapped was an episode where I like went through the whole thing, and I went through my whole 2025 playlist and I looked through everything that I had added, and it was just one of those super long episodes where I just didn't feel like the point was getting across or anything. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to find a way to share with you guys directly the music. I think the best bet is for me to post on Instagram or like little clips on TikTok and stuff, like the songs that I'm absolutely loving like in the moment. I did that the first new music Thursday, Friday of May. So literally like May 1st? 2nd? Literally in the gym, I did my new music listen. I went through what had dropped, started listening to some stuff. There's some like albums that I need to catch up with. I was really just focused on singles at that time, so I can do more like that if you are looking for real time real-time sort of situations. But other than that, just posting little clips on TikTok and coming here. I want to talk more individually about albums because I do feel like we're getting a really, really like strong album year. It's amazing, actually. So there's a couple albums that I do want to cover and talk about, and then maybe we'll do like an episode focusing solely on the singles. I don't know, I don't want to promise too much. But up next is an episode on Selena Quintanilla. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As a reminder, follow at Boomin with Bella on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, wherever. And make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel as well as like this video and comment if there's anything you want to add on. Also, if you want to see more stuff, more behind the scenes, more my regular clips, videos, whatever, you can follow at Isabella with 2 A's, Lainez on TikTok and Instagram, and just kind of see more of what's going on. And don't worry, there's a link to everything in both bios. Whether you're looking at Isabella with 2 A's, Lainez, or Boomin with Bella, there's a link, and that'll take you to all things that you could possibly need. You know, some promo codes, some affiliate stores or links, blog pieces, Pinterest, YouTube channels, playlists, whatever. Whatever I could possibly have to share with you is in that link. So that is available to you, and I will be back very soon. And if you're listening, make sure to also like, subscribe, follow wherever you are listening, and leave a 5-star rating so we can push Boomin with Bella out to more people. And I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Thank you so much for waiting, and love you. Bye.